Welcome back to the Jadwin Gym. This is the MetLife Halftime Report. MetLife guarantees for the if in life. And right now we have to think if Lafayette can get it rolling, maybe they can come back in this ball game. But they right now find themselves down by 17 points. Princeton has really defended them well. Lafayette has turned the ball over 13 times. But right now, we've got a happy story because Dan Mowdy, I believe he's with Pete Carril. Pete's family is also here tonight, and he certainly has Lafayette ties. And oh my, what a coach he was here at Princeton University. Here's Dan.
All right, Gary, you know what? The Princeton program has dedicated 3 pages to 3 very special people who have been a big part of basketball here at the place where the Tigers play. You can see a whole page on Bill Bradley, first of all, and then the very next page, Pete Carril. He has been here for 29 years, starting 1967, and he is synonymous with Princeton basketball, but there's also a strong Lafayette College tie here as well, and with his family, who we'll introduce to you here in a minute. Pete Carril, welcome to the Lafayette Sports Network.
Thank you very much.
Tell us how it all got started for you in the Lehigh Valley.
Right, I started coaching, went to Liberty High School. Then I started coaching at Easton High School. And then, of course, I went to Lafayette, as you would suspect. And the guy that's responsible for all of this was a very important figure to both these places, Coach Fred Redekop. He coached at Lafayette twice and coached here and put this team here on a national basis. Princeton made Princeton into a national school. And, of course, everybody knows what he did for Lafayette. Took him to the NIT and then beat Notre Dame. So there's the guy that should be on the cover of this program because he established basketball at both places.
Well, it's funny you should mention Butch because he happens to be the third person featured prominently in the program. And, Pete, you had some fond words to say about your old friend at a nice tribute to Butch Van Bredikoff on the Lafayette College campus.
Well, he's the best. He's probably the best coach that I've ever been around. And, of course, what he did for Lafayette and Princeton is just legendary. And unfortunately, like all of us, the day comes when we just can't do it anymore, and we're living in another world. Let's hope it's the right one.
Pete, let's take you back a couple of years now, okay? Between 67 and 96, your Princeton team frustrated and sometimes dominated some big-time Division I scholarship schools.
That's true.
It was pure basketball in a lot of people's minds. Maybe you can tell us about your philosophy of the sport.
It's not much different from what you see here on the part of both teams, Lafayette and Princeton, except that I think our talent level was a little bit higher. And so we were able to do that. And as the cost of going to school goes up, it gets harder and harder to recruit, bona fide athletes. And also as the standards go up, because the standards have gone up at both schools, at Lafayette and at Princeton.
No doubt about it. Coach, you've had lots of experience at all levels, most recently with the Sacramento Kings at the NBA level. Tell us about what's going on in the NBA and what your views are there.
I kind of like that. I was there for 11 years, and of the 11, we went to the playoffs 10 times. And I enjoyed it very much, except for 2 years. 2 years we had a bad team, but most of the time the guys were good players. We won a lot of games, and I was very happy there.
Now, Pete, the tradition continues between Princeton and Lafayette College inside the Carril family. Maybe you can tell us how the affiliation is with the folks behind us.
Well, my daughter Lisa went to school there. My grandson PB will be in the freshman class next year. My son went to Princeton, right? The traitor. All right.
You got a lot to be proud of, Pete Carril. A legacy here at Princeton, a new basketball coach stepping in, a fine history of basketball coaching here. Tell us a little bit about what you see in Sidney Johnson, the first-year head coach.
Of course, he's a very fine player here, and he's having a rough luck. It's been a very rough start for him, but they're playing awful well tonight. This afternoon, I was down to see Richmond play LaSalle, and the coach at Richmond played for me here too, Chris Mooney. And they had a triple overtime game, and they won by 1. So it's been kind of a long day for him, but a happy one.
The legendary Pete Carril coming back on the Lafayette Sports Network. If he can't be in Easton, he's certainly welcome to join us anytime we're here in Princeton.
Thank you, Dan.
We are very pleased and honored to have you and your family join us here.
I appreciate it.
All right, back to Gary and John.
Dan, it's one of those nights where maybe we should do a 1.5 hour interview and do a half hour of a basketball game. You could talk to that guy all night long as far as I'm concerned. When we come back, we'll have our halftime numbers. They don't look real good for Lafayette. This is the MetLife Halftime Report. Stay with us.